Let's create our Premier League team of the season. Goalkeeper may not seem like a fantastic shout after the first half, but I've got Vicario from Spurs.
I get it, but I think that's more of the first 6 months of the season.
Yeah, but as an overall season, for a first season in the Premier League, no one knew who he was before, really, unless you were very into football. He has been fantastic. I think
after his first game at Brentford as well, when we was on here, weren't we, talking about how he looked like a calamity. I think he did bring it back around, didn't he?
He's brought it back. He's been great. And then look at Arsenal have struggled with the goalkeepers this year, so you won't pick either of them. Ederson and Alisson have had stints of injury throughout the year, so I won't pick them. Anyway, Ellis, who's your goalkeeper?
Jordan Pickford. Second most clean sheets in a relegation fighting team. I think he's been fucking fantastic.
I really want to hound you for this, but I can't.
Yeah, he's one of my honourable mentions, so I can't.
Jordan Pickford for me. I mean,
it's a shit take, but it's fair enough.
It's hard to argue with.
There's no counter.
If there's a team that's fighting relegation and he's got the second most clean sheets, that's ridiculous. I've got a lot of time for Pickford. I think he's been brilliant in an England shirt every time I've seen him. They've been in relegation fights for the past couple of years. He faces a lot of fucking shots and he's got the second most clean sheets. I think he's been great.
I'm not arguing with it. Theo?
Don't get me wrong. His defence is phenomenal, but conceded the least amount of goals. Yeah. Got the most clean sheets for me. It's weird because I was a massive Ramsdale guy, but David Raya.
Oh, you can actually fuck off.
Why?
There's no way Raya's the best goalkeeper in the league this year.
You make the fair points about Alisson Ederson.
Yeah.
So then for me, it's between Pickford, Vicario, and Raya. And Raya's got the most clean sheets, conceded the least amount of goals.
Right.
Starts a lot of our
plays. Is that to do with anything with Raya, though?
Yeah.
Is that more
he's literally got... I'm sure half of your defence is going to be Arsenal as well. But it was only about 2 shows ago that you said to me that you would rather Ramsdale start still.
Yeah, but...
So how... Wait. So how are you then picking?
But I would still say... But... It's weird because it's a massive contradiction, but I think... Ramsdale at his best is still better than Raya is best, but Raya has been the best goalkeeper in the league this season.
I don't think even you believe that, you know. I genuinely don't think you actually believe that.
I don't know who else. Maybe it's bias. But
maybe it might be.
I'm not really seeing David Raya make any out of
he's not had to. You're gonna fault a guy for not.
Yeah, but how are you putting him at the best goalkeeper then if he's not had to make any proper saves?
Because he's been just solid all season, and like I said, if we're going to stats, most clean sheets, least amount of goals conceded. Our defence is fucking incredible, but he's still a massive factor in that.
I love how the times have changed because I used to be called Statman on this show.
Yeah,
now look at me.
Statman.
Charlie, who have you got goalkeeper?
I really wanted to put Alisson in, but I couldn't back it up.
Fair.
So I did actually also go with Vicario because I think start of the season, first game, it was a bit ropey, but he's just been consistent, and I've seen him make some saves that, you've got to be. He is a good keeper.
I think he's made saves that have kept Tottenham in games, whereas I've not seen that from Raya as much. Same for Pickford. Pickford's had to fight a war this year.
Bro,
yeah.
He received shots, mate.
I think Pickford's a better shout than Vicario.
Obviously the Arsenal fan thinks that.
In front of him.
It's crazy. They've been in a relegation fight.
I won't say Everton's got a shit defence.
Well, no, but compared to when he's facing Ollie Watkins and stuff.
If you're holding 6 to Chelsea.
Don't get me wrong, Jared Bamford has been very good this season, but it's still not an unbelievable defence.
It's still not world class.
When you've got Ashley Young starting at left back.
You've got to be honest as well, defence, it starts from the front as well, so they're never really on the front foot in games. They're always going to be absorbing pressure and you're always going to face shots, aren't you? That's the main thing.
I'll take Pickford, but I'm sticking with that.
Someone in the comments said, Arsenal fan is clueless. Arsenal have conceded the least amount of shots on target in the league. Raya's done fuck all.
Oh no!
Do you know what? Yeah, well done. Yeah. We'll move on to the left back.
Yeah,
anyway.
no, fair enough, mate. I can't. I don't want to say that.
What can you say?
Move on to left back. This was the toughest position for me. I think there's barely any options, so I just went with Robertson because I think when he's played, he's still been very good. He's had a lot of injury problems, but I was considering putting Digne, but even he's had some injury problems, so he's only started 60% of games for Villa, but he has also been very good. But I went Robertson.
I went, just to play it safe, I went Robertson because there's not really been a standout for me. I was flirting with the idea of maybe Vardiol, but I don't know. He's played the vast majority, but he's still missed a good few. But I've still got to be Robertson, I guess.
I've gone with he's played sort of even centre back and left back, but I put Nathan Ake left back.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the best left back in the league, though.
He's just been very consistent. See,
I don't think that's
like I said, left back was really hard.
It's not criminal.
Who
Definitely.
you got, Charlie?
Robertson.
Yeah.
It's just he got injured for a few months, so I was a bit like...
No, I get it. It was hard.
It's a safe shout for us. You know what I mean?
You just know what you're going to get when Robertson's in the lineup.
Yeah. I mean, I think I remember I watched the Crystal Palace game, when at Anfield when he lost.
Robertson was,
and I think he was the only player that fucking turned up.
Yeah, he was the only one that just non-stop.
He was great. Like, he was great. It was just unfortunate that the rest of the team didn't show up. So
yeah,
I have a sneaky feeling everyone's going to have the same 2 centre backs.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
All right.
No, I do actually.
So we'll give 2 centre backs each at once because we may as well, as instead of doing one each because we'll just mix them up. My 2 centre backs are Saliba and Van der Ven.
Oh yeah, well we have then. They're my 2, to be fair.
I've got Saliba and Pau Torres.
I do quite like Pau Torres.
Aston Villa's defence has been very good.
Van
der
der
Ven's
Ven.
very close, but he did get injured for me. I didn't want to really put too many players that were injured for ages.
In terms of ability as a defender, this
really
season
young
when
as well.
he's
I'm
been
not opposed
fit,
to it. Let's go. It's very fair enough. He's a honourable mention.
But to be fair, Pau Torres with Villa.
Yeah,
I can't argue with it. But the 2 that I went for are the exact same.
I completely get that. That's completely fair enough. Van der Ven's been very good, but I just think Pau Torres, he's Aston Villa. He's the reason Aston Villa's defence is good.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some Villa players in the honourable mentions, but I don't know. I don't think I've got one in the start. Oh yeah, shit, I do. Never mind. We'll move on anyway.
Charlie, have you got centre backs?
I've got Saliba, and any guesses who's next to him?
Van Dijk.
Sure.
No.
Okay, that's worse than Ryan.
Yeah.
No.
Van Dijk's actually been okay for most of the year, but in the last couple of games, I mean, against Everton, he was getting bullied, mate.
So second best centre back in the league.
No, but the thing is, you've got Kwanzaa, who's 19 years old. He's been thrown into the deep end. Matip, ACL. 1-2 games into the season.
Okay, but saying he's second best in the league this season.
I can't have him second best. I just don't think.
I think he's what's kept our defence solid when we've had Conor Bradley in and out of the team.
Yeah, but your
Obviously,
defence has
he came
only
in
been
with-
solid up to 6 games ago. So if it continues like this for the rest of the season, for a third of the season, it will have been poor.
I just think to have him, he might be the top 5 best centre backs in the league this season. Second's a stretch.
Well, we'll let you have it anyway. It's your list. And then we're on to right back.
Okay.
So my right back is, I feel like this is just the Tottenham Arsenal 11 at the minute. It is Ben White.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Everyone's got Ben White.
I've got Ben White. I was extremely close to putting Walker in.
Yeah, I was flirting with the idea.
Yeah, but it's Ben White.
It's got to be Ben White for me. Yeah,
Love Ben White.
consistent, just does it.
popped
week
up
in,
with a
week
few
out.
goals as
Yeah.
well. Do you know what I mean? Especially he got 2 the other day, didn't he? So
I think the thing is as well, it is hard not to pick Walker. I think maybe we're a little bit biased for the newer player because Walker's been just as good as ever. And you seen against Real Madrid, I know they ended up losing
He's
on
fantastic.
penalties.
He's
But he were
fantastic.
catching up with Vinny still. How old is he now?
32.
Like 32?
was he 34?
He's
Oh, is he that
33, I
old?
think.
Well, yeah. So Kyle Walker's real close to getting it, but everyone's got Ben White, which is mental.
Yeah.
So then, did
Mr.
everyone go with 3 midfielders?
Yeah. Then left and a right winger and a striker.
I'm going to be a pain. I went 4-4-2 because I had 2 strikers.
Just had to ruin it, didn't you?
I was trying to put one
Well-
on left. I was trying to do 4-3-3, but
You do your thing. I've got 2 holding midfielders.
Same.
It's the obvious options. It's
Yep.
Rice and Rodri.
absolutely.
Has everyone got them in their team?
Rice and Rodri, yeah.
No.
It's just how I've shaped up my team. So no.
Who have you got?
I've
What's
got-
your midfield?
Was your option Rice or Rodri?
Yeah,
Instead
I've
of
got
both.
Rice. I went for Rice just purely because it's contextual. Like obviously Rodri's been doing it solidly for years, which is brilliant. But just Rice coming in with a big price tag, there was no like transitional period. He just kind of got straight back in and was performing at the levels that we've seen at West Ham. So that's why I chucked him in.
Do you know, I would have probably picked, if I was picking between them, I would have picked Rice as well.
Yeah, just purely off that. Do you know what I mean?
But I've had to put them both in. You know.
What's your midfield?
So I've got 2 DMs, which is
Rice and Rodri.
Yeah.
Are you the same?
I've got 3 midfields, and I've got Foden in the midfield with them.
So you've got an attacking mid in there.
I've got Foden as an attacking mid in mind.
I was going to do that, but then I just put 4-4-2 because I might as well have left wing and right wing.
Yeah, so my attacking mid is Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll have just done it the opposite way to you.
I on a wing, to be fair, but it just don't really matter, does it?
I'm assuming we've all got Palmer.
He's obviously in there. Do you know what I mean? Don't really matter where we've put him.
It was really hard though to make the team because for me, I was thinking from this point, obviously we'll go start on the left wing and it's Foden.
Especially put Anthony Gordon in there to me.
You can get fucked. I didn't class Foden as a winger when we did those lists, but
I've put him as a left winger now.
Yeah, it's got to be Foden. But at the same time, when I was looking at the attack, the front three, so I've gone Foden, Watkins, and then I've got Bernardo Silva because he plays on the right sometimes.
Over Jared Bowen.
Oh, Jared Bowen?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But I think Bernardo, whenever I've seen him play this year, Bowen's played a lot up front. And you called me out on this the other week. Bowen's played as a striker a lot, apparently. Yeah, so I didn't put him in there. But Bernardo Silva as a winger, he's getting on a bit now. He doesn't have the most pace, but he's just been incredible for Manchester City all year.
He's never been reliant on his pace.
Well, the way my team works, I've got a 4-4-2, is I've got Rice and Rodri, Cole Palmer on the right, Foden on the left. So I couldn't have put Bernardo Silva in there.
Right, yeah.
Because Palmer...
I've got Palmer on the left and Foden as the 10 for me.
Who's on the right?
Jared Bowen.
Jared Bowen.
I did put Bowen in there. I know, as you said, it's different in it. But that's just the way that I've worked the team.
For me, he's a striker though this season.
Yeah, I guess. But it's just
Kudus has been the right winger.
Yeah, it's just how I've done it.
Who have you got as your attackers?
On the left, it's not great based on the first half of this game, but I've got Heung-min Son still. I still think he's... After Kane's left, I feel like he's still made sure that...
Well, you had Foden as an attacking mid, didn't you? All right.
As an attacking mid.
And then who are the other two?
And then the other two, I've got Ollie Watkins and Cole Palmer.
Son?
Yeah, I get it though.
Of Anthony Gordon?
After Kane's left.
Even have Son in my honourable mentions.
Yeah, Son didn't even come to me because I think he's had quite an underwhelming season.
Thinking how big
standard.
Kane was for Tottenham, scoring goals in their attack, I feel like Son had big boots to fill. Even though he's been doing it for the past few seasons, he had to do it this season.
Do you know what? That is true. There hasn't been a dramatic drop off at Tottenham, and Son has been the one that's kept him ticking along.
But I still feel like he's had quite an underwhelming season for his standards.
No, but I think his game has become less about goals and assists and also bringing the rest of the team up.
But I think to get in team of season, I think I'd rather have Saka in there, even though he's...
No.
I don't know. He definitely not in the team of season. No.
I didn't even, as I said, I can't argue with the shout, but it wasn't even in my honourable mentions, I'm not going to lie. But it's a good point that you've raised that you've not noticed any kind of decline with Spurs. This is what they're normally doing, flirting with the idea of top four, and that's without Kane. So I understand the shout. It didn't really cross my mind, but I don't hate it.
So Palmer, Foden, and my two strikers are Ollie Watkins and Alexander Isak.
Yeah.
Spot on, mate. Can't argue with
So
that.
between us, it's like Isak versus Bernardo Silva, or Isak versus Son, or...
Yeah. I don't know. Isak, I think there's a little bit more recency bias in there. He wasn't quite as good throughout the whole season.
19 goals.
He's good. I'm not denying it. I get the shout. I'm not going, oh, that's fucking awful.
Yeah, no, of course.
But
no Haaland though in any of us.
No, it's just...
I mean, which is ridiculous because he's played 26 games and scored 20 goals, but that's the level that he's set for himself.
It's just not the kind of footballer you really want to watch week in, week out, is it?
He's brilliant, but he's just... you've got to think, like, look at Haaland. If he wasn't 6'4", if he was 5'10", do you really think he'd be doing what he's doing? He relies on his physicality. And
yeah, but you can't blame someone.
No, you can't, but you've got to look at
You'd be shit if you were small. Well,
No,
yeah, probably.
big up to the small king.
But it's not, yeah.
Thanks.
Shout out, cheers. But yeah, I know it's a weird thing to say, but it's just, I feel like he's massively reliant on them factors, whereas you look at the other strikers like your Watkins and your Isaks, they're a lot more technical.
They bring more to their game.